So we're going to get into the next segment. Now, this segment, we have a special guest coming in. It's going to be a live interview, so we're going to bring them right up here, and y'all are free to ask any questions you have. So, ladies and gentlemen,
please give it up for Kalim Johnson.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Make yourself at home.
How y'all doing? All right.
How you feeling?
I'm all right.
Yes. Let's get it.
Yes. Listen, we're excited to have you. We have a lot of questions for you.
Came a long way from Hagerstown, right? You came from Hagerstown?
Yeah, it was a long day, about 20 minutes.
About 20-minute ride.
Across the bridge.
Yeah.
Give myself that much credit.
All right, bet. So, yeah, we're going to hop right into the interview. Again, if anybody has any questions towards the end, we will open up a space for that for y'all to ask. So please think of that in the meantime. So why don't you go ahead and start off by telling people a little bit about who you are.
Like they said, my name is Kalim, Kyle, whatever you want to call me. Grew up in Philadelphia, live in Hagerstown now. Do my thing, getting busy, some real estate stuff, some do-gooder stuff in the hood, making sure we impact people's lives and things of that nature. But overall, like, I'm about my business. So I like to empower the common people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Okay.
Yeah, see, like I first heard of Kalim through the Freedom Fest in Hagerstown.
Yeah.
When you guys put that event together, I was like, wow, like, you know what I mean? And the love that people showed too, it was unbelievable, like crazy.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about the Freedom Fest and what you did with that?
And what inspired you to even put it together and stuff, you know?
Well, it's a difference between the look of diversity and actual inclusion. You know what I'm saying? And so
we can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, so somebody can have an event and we going to show up because of our community, but we're not economically being empowered. Exactly. And so what we did, we wanted African restaurants, we wanted Spanish, we wanted Haitian, we wanted Spanish music, we wanted hip hop, we wanted country. You want it so that way you have a true, you know, a global situation happening right in your own backyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you want those kind of things in your environment, but it's not happening. Then you have to be the person responsible for it. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have to be the change you want to see. And you know, I'm 42 years old, so I got a 3-year-old son. And at the end of the day, I purchased a home in that area. You see what I'm saying? And so when he's growing up in that environment, it's up to me and his mom to make sure that we create an environment for them to prosper.
Exactly.
And you don't want them to sound the same as you.
Right.
Right? When they 40 years old, they sounding like you.
Right.
And you 80 sitting at the table disappointed with yourself, right? So who wants that? And so you listen, you may not get it all done in one shot. That ain't the way the world works. But you can start contributing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Doing your part.
I always said it's the little things that really matter. You know what I mean? If you can't change things on a big scale, it's the little things that's really gonna help. You know what I mean? Change.
Yeah, but I wanted to be big too. Because you think about it.
Of course.
If you think about it, there's other organizations in the area that got a lot more money.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's individuals who have a lot more money. They didn't do it.
Right.
It was me, and I reached out to 6 people from the community. I'm not from the community.
Right.
And so now you empower those people to be creative as well. You see what I'm saying? And so now you do that, the people that got the money, they want to back it.
Right.
Because they may have the money, but they don't have the creativity. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all about connecting the dots, connecting the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like we said earlier too, like, you know how we said, like, you know, your network is as big as your net worth. I think that's something that, like, you know, a lot of people
That's right.
Yeah. And like I said, you got me hit to a lot of things as well, even with the real estate stuff. Like I took one of your classes and I was able to, like, you know, just learn about a couple things and stuff. And even the stuff that you taught me was very knowledgeable, powerful, and it was just like, you know, it brought me awareness to certain things. And I was like, wow, like, you know what I mean? If I really do take that route, and if I really do try to, like you said, just continue and progress and just keep pushing towards that goal, it can happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think it's all about perspectives too. It's like people have the perspectives of like, oh, I can't live that life, or I can't have a Lamborghini, or I can't have this, I can't have that, right? It shouldn't matter about any of that. None of that stuff matters anyways. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like people, you know what I mean? It's like, I was just in the shop the other day where it was all Balenciaga and all crazy stuff. People were going in there paying $800,000, not more, on stuff. So in my head, I'm thinking, wow, perspective is like, you know, I come back to where we live and I see people struggling. I see people who don't got money. I see, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I don't see opportunities though, right? But then it's like, you know, when I go out to these places, I see people spending big money, and like you said, you got to make the money work for you in a way. You know what I mean? And build those connects with people to be able to get like certain things like built and put together and stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, the opportunities is there even if you don't see it. That's
exactly.
And you not seeing it, that's the opportunity.
Exactly.
Right.
So that
take notes, yo.
That creates an opportunity for me.
Exactly.
I know you don't see it, right?
Yeah.
But also because you from the in the environment much longer than me. Mm-hmm. So when the outsider come in, if I come to Martinsburg, I'm gonna see things the way that people from Martinsburg don't see it.
Right. Because they're gonna be like, oh, who's this guy coming from Philadelphia?
Yeah. But see, like, I've lived in a number of places. So when I moved to Cleveland, Ohio, but I was outside of Cleveland. But everybody in Cleveland, especially the poor people, was always saying they're trying to get to Atlanta. And it's like, if you go to Atlanta without a plan, you're still gonna be fucked up.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So you gotta start working your plan now. You know, if you go to Philadelphia, there's a whole bunch of my homies. I'm trying to get the hell out of Philadelphia.
Right.
Meanwhile, Philadelphia being gentrified. You know what I'm saying? You get to Hagerstown and people are like, yo, it's whack as shit in Hagerstown. And I'm like, it ain't gonna be whack for me because I'm gonna get busy. You see what I'm saying? So the opportunities is always there. You know what I mean? And then, and even from the real estate thing, like me and my wife, we was homeless in 2014. You see what I'm saying? And so to be homeless, but still stay guided in that faith, and, you know what I'm saying? And to understand that we was gonna go from being homeless to home ownership in a year. You feel me? That's nothing but the grace of God.
Facts.
You feel me? So a lot of this stuff, listen, people see you, and that's the hard part about social media, is that you wish you didn't meet some people in person, right? Because social media creates an allure.
Exactly. Perspective.
Oh yeah, right. And then they meet you, and then they don't understand that the reason you get things done is because of your actual intensity. Exactly. But you can't measure intensity online.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Like you can't measure that stuff online. You know what I mean? They see a picture of you getting in a nice car, it's like, yo, he getting it. But what is he doing?
Right.
Exactly. Like even like as an artist, like, you know, people might see you in a nice spot looking all fresh and fly and stuff, but it's like people don't know what you had to do to go through that. I remember there was shows where Ashley and I, we had to drive all the way out to PA. We would leave at like 7 p.m. and we wouldn't be back till like 4 or 5
in the morning, man.
Like, you know what I mean?
Selling tickets hard,
like
days, but like that vision though, and that faith.
Yeah, but like you said, people don't see all that hard work that you really do got to put in behind the curtains. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work that I'm sure goes into real estate, that goes into, you know, even as for an artist, like, you know, I want to do music, of course, and stuff, but that's not only my only outlet. I want to be able to, like, you know, get a house myself for my family. I have 2 kids. I want to be able to, you know, give them property. I want to be able to set them up for the future. And it's like, you know, Ashley and I started a business in the middle of a pandemic, and it's like, you know what I mean? We're doing good.
Yeah.
And there was times when me and her were like, yo, should we even do this like in the middle of a pandemic? Are we gonna be able to keep up? Are we gonna be able to do this? Are we gonna be able to do that? And now it's to the point, it's like we don't even think about it. We're just moving by faith, like you said.
And like exactly, faith and vision.
Exactly.
These are things that like they're tangible, but you just can't see it. But you have to see it. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to have that vision.
Yeah, it's information with demonstration.
Yeah.
And so no, it is. And so what happens is, you know, your haters, they come from, these are people that have created a narrative that it can't be done because they failed. So
people like to install their own fears into you.
Yeah, I come into your community and you've been telling your wife why something can't be done. And then here comes some dude and he does it. Right. How your wife looking at you?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But now how are you looking at me?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not inspiring you. You mad as shit right now, right? So that's where the hate comes from a lot of times. And they don't hate you, they hate themselves.
Yes.
Because people don't get this shit. Like, there's a lot of money in the narrative that it can't be done. You know, we need the government to do this. We need more this. We need more of that. When in actuality, you just need more courage, more faith.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There is some things that we, obviously economically we have been placed in certain boxes, but at the same time that ain't going to change because you mad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you can do something simple like making sure your credit don't get rocked. You know what I'm saying? Stacking up a little bit of bread. I like nice stuff, but I thrift. I thrift my ass off.
Definitely.
You feel me?
Definitely.
So, then I got an $80,000 truck and a $400 house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I thrift.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Like, and it's perspective. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not bragging when I say the cost of a car or anything. It's just knowing where you came from.
Yeah, and knowing that you worked hard to get that. You feel me? And that out of anything is like respect, bro. Respect.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I have to ask you, so what types of role models or anything did you have like growing up? Like, who did you look to?
I look to the common people, man. Like, I look to the people that got fucked up and then came back.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I never was really inspired by like the TV show or the celebrity stuff, but if I saw some dude get rocked and then get back up on his feet, and you know what I'm saying?
I would, like you said, some people are inspired by pain. You know what I mean? By things that they've gone through in life, and it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I was never inspired by the glitz and shit. I was always inspired by people who they really grinded that stuff out and they didn't fake it till they made it. You know what I'm saying? They really was.
She's still here cracking up about that. My legs, like
That's them cracking up.
Anywhere.
There? Right there?
That's funny. Yeah, so like just going back, man, like I said, man, the things that you're doing and stuff, or even Hagerstown, like I said, when I've met you and stuff, we've had what, maybe 3-4 conversations, and out of those conversations, you know, we've always talked about, you know, trying to do something, trying to do this. You helped me out and you got me into the class about real estate now, so now I'm aware about that and stuff. So like anybody at home, if you guys want to reach out to Kalim and stuff, he's very knowledgeable on that type of stuff. And like, you know, even for me as an artist, it's like I said, I want to buy property. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do things and stuff. But it's like you said, all that costs money. All that you have to invest in. You have to invest money into yourself, you know what I mean, to be able to get that money to work for you in a way. And I think it's all about, like, for an artist, it's about creating residual income. It's about, like, you know, creating a project, creating something, and then letting that just run itself. And then I can go and create another project. So now I got another project coming in, racking in. So then I got another one.
You gotta flip the projects.
Exactly. My money might not come right now, but if I sit on the next 5-6 couple years or whatever, it's gonna start racking up.
So let me speak with the music shit, right? Y'all did the Spanish Jones called Memoria and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Like, why would you grab a microphone, go on YouTube, pump the shit, and not put out something that you put effort behind?
Exactly.
Like, I see certain rappers, and you got the eardrums of a million people, and you don't use that opportunity to communicate a powerful message at that time. And then they give you the bullshit that nobody wants to hear a message. Well, you still have rappers that came out in the 90s that put out message music that still have thriving careers in 2021. And you got rappers that came out 2 years ago that put out one joint and they gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's okay to get the bag, but damn, you got a million eardrums?
Somebody once told me, they said, are you in it for the fame or are you in it for the change? And like I said, the second they told me that, I was like, fuck the fame. I'm good with the change, because like I could take that change, I could flip that, make something else, and turn it into profit. You feel me?
Yeah, but some people, they master it all. Right. So if you know the story of Marvin Gaye, I'm sure most of y'all don't know Marvin Gaye, but Marvin Gaye was doing all the sexy shit. He probably know, right?
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Listen, big dog, I have no problem. Listen, but Marvin was doing all the sexy joints. But he, during that time when everything was bubbling and socially, he like, look, I want to put out something that's powerful. Like, and Barry Gordy, like, no, that's not what we do. We put out, you know what I mean? We make them dance. And then Marvin put out that, you know, what's going on. Biggest record in Motown history. You see what I'm saying? So why waste your talent? It's not for everybody. Some people just want to party and have fun.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Everyone has their own perspective on what they want to do.
But it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance of the music overall. That's what I'm a hybrid. Like, what's my man right now, Nardo Wick, who wants to smoke with me? That's my, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, but then I'm riding through Philly the other day, and some dudes are screaming like, "Yo, I got that loud!" And he called me old head. I'm like, "Damn!" And my wife is laughing. How he know I was old? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm driving. Like, you see what I'm saying? So, like, my time has passed in terms of, you know, being cool, hip hop, fresh, and all that. But I grew up on artists that are still rocking, and I get to hear the new stuff as well, and then I process it all. And culturally, music-wise, people are on a different frequency.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I've run into artists where they're just like, hey, I only like doing this honestly because my friends like listening to my music, or the people close to me. I hear other people, they just like inspiring other people.
Or some people just like to be like a model, you know what I'm saying? They just like to take pictures, do video reels, and then they have people write for them, and like, you know what I mean? Everybody has a different avenue for sure.
But it's like you said, for me personally, like, you know what I mean? I want to provoke conscious thinking.
Right.
I want to, like, if I put something out, I want you to listen to it and be like, let me rewind this and let me see what he said. And let me, if you resonate with my music, or if you can feel some type of way because of my music, then I feel like I already did my job.
Yeah,
you know,
you just don't want the art form to become disposable.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
So when we grew up, you can listen to the West Coast rap, you can listen to the South, to the East, and it was all these different sounds. Like everybody's voice was so distinct. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Compared to now, where they're purposely trying to make it
universal,
disposable.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's intentional.
Yeah. And I feel like even hip hop is kind of becoming more pop.
Oh, it's been pop.
Yeah, it's been, but yeah, like it's definitely starting to like take off with the
He'll
pop.
tell you, we had dudes like Redhead Kingpin back in the day, and Hammer was bigger than most of these artists now. Hammer was crazy. Then you had Vanilla Ice come after Hammer. Like we had some crazy rappers back in the day. I tell my folks, like, if you want to keep on putting out the lie that we was the cool generation, you got to keep your kids away from those guys.
So let me ask you, because like, you do come from a whole different generation and stuff. Like, what was the difference between then and how people are doing music now?
Well, back then you had kingmakers.
What's a kingmaker?
A person that sits at the record label that tells you whether or not you're hot. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so you were forced to do a quality demo to even get it heard.
In the spot, right.
Your network had to be huge. Yeah. Because you could be a dope rapper, but if you couldn't get to Kevin Lyles, you wasn't getting anywhere compared to now. And these kids can load their shit up to SoundCloud or YouTube and then get it buzzing. You see what I'm saying? Now, both things have their benefits, right?
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Because it's something great about quality control, right? And that's the kingmaker to say, yo, no, not in this house. But it's also something inspiring about my man saying, I'm gonna do a video. We running out of time. I can't find the girls right now, but we paid the money already.
Yeah, we gonna do it.
We gonna hop on. We gonna get busy, and we gonna put it out to the universe. There's something inspired about that too, without waiting on somebody to look at you in your face and say you hot or you not. Like we got the signs.
And we might not even realize it. You know what I mean? But that is inspiring because it's like, yo, at the end of the day, you are busting your ass off to go out there and do that shit. Like I was in the same situation. Like I shot a music video not too long ago. I didn't have enough extras and stuff, so we made it work.
We made it work. Got them angles.
And, right? Because it's like at the same time, like you said, you have a vision. You already have something put out, but it's like you can't really wait on everyone else too. And if shit doesn't work out, it don't work out. But make it happen, manifest it yourself to come true and stuff, and it'll work out.
Yeah, and I tell people, listen, man, like, you rap.
He's the hip hop koala.
He's a producing koala.
He producing koala.
You rap? Nah, you rap? You rap?
Does anybody in here rap?
Anybody rap?
I mean, I can't.
Right,
He freestyles. He freestyles.
He rap.
Remy White.
So he's the one that raps, right? And so a lot of times we're being critiqued by people who don't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay,
That was a good ass point.
So even in the stuff that I do, it's somebody sitting on the sideline talking about how much you aren't doing for the community, right? And you're sitting there going, "What the hell? Like, we didn't give our scholarships to kids. You know what I'm saying? We done fed people. And we did all these things, and you got some buster sitting on the sideline, leader hopping, right? Oh, this person is the leader this week, and this person is. So you can't get caught up in all that. Him as an artist, you as an artist, you can't get caught up in the people that's not doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he in the kitchen cooking up something, he don't want you to talk about you need more seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't. Even if you're right, you know what I'm saying? Like let me get through the process. Right. You know what I mean? Let me get through the process and see if I win or not. You know, there's nothing wrong with falling forward, man.
Of course.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you know what I'm saying? Overall, just don't let the naysayers like distract you from your vision and your purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even us doing this, I feel like it's encouraging for y'all to see like you're gonna get different feedback, but kind of like what he said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting yourself out and growing and progressing.
Because the second you let your emotions get the best of you, you already lost.
Yeah.
You already lost.
I'll tell you straight up. I can't stand Drake. What does that matter?
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't.
You see what I'm saying?
I like Drake.
Right. You love Drake.
Champagne Poppy, you know what I'm
I can't stand Drake.
Right.
But it doesn't matter to his overall success.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because me liking Drake or you not liking Drake isn't doing anything for us, making us any money or nothing.
Drake's still making money.
Yeah. He's still making money.
He making
But Drake,
mad.
if you want to link up with us, bro, you know where we at.
Tell Aubrey to stop rocking Howard gear if he gave him money.
Okay.
You're not wrong, man.
I want to talk about that real quick because you just brought that up. I seen Lil Durk actually went out to go perform for that, and then he ended up leaving early because he just said the energy wasn't on point. He was telling people, he was like, look,
Howard, right?
shout out, he was like, shout out to everybody who came through and stuff. He's like, but for real, he's like, I'm not fucking with y'all's energy, and y'all ain't fucking with it either. So it's like, I'm gonna rock out with these next couple songs, and then I'm out. And he left. And I was like, wow, like.
What a pussy.
My leg. Yo, shout out to Dip, yo.
Yeah.
Ow! Too funny.
That's funny.
Oh man. Okay, so I have to ask you here. It is a music podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about empowerment. We're talking about a lot of different things.
Yeah,
so
about a lot of things.
what music do you go to? Who's your go-to like playlist and artist?
Sheesh.
I listen to reggaeton.
Reggaeton, okay.
I don't understand anything they're saying, and I think that's
Ella le
like,
gusta la gasolina, right?
he listens to that joint like 75% of the time he's doing this joint.
Right now I'm banging the King's Disease 2 joint.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm heavy on that joint.
Yes.
It's some artists I found out in New York. This boy Ransom that I'm listening to. I'm listening to a lot of Vado. I'm listening to a lot of, right now I'm in this space where I'm listening to a lot of New York rappers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up on the New York boom bap. You see what I'm saying? And so, what's the boy, Math Hoffa? He got a podcast.
Math Hoffa, yeah.
Yeah, and so, he had him on the New York news. And so, listening to the new AZ, Do or Die Part 2.
Yep.
And so, I'm listening to that kind of space right now. But every once in a while, when I'm like driving fast, I want to hear some of the new stuff. You know what I mean? Even if it, like, to me, it's like redundant. I remember these young dudes out in Cleveland at the ball court, and I was joking about the artists, and they said they actually can understand. They know who the artist is, even though to me it all sound the same.
Right.
They can know like that. Oh, that's Lil Baby. Oh, that's this person. I'm like, damn. How? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's just a different frequency. You know what I mean? And like when I grew up, and I put on LL, my mom would say, turn that noise off. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now that we put on LL, your kids is like, you turn off that old school. You know, and so it's just a cycle. It's a cycle because the music acts as a soundtrack to your upbringing. You see what I'm saying? Wow. It does. And so now the good thing about my parents' generation though is that I know all their music too. Like I still listen to the Motown sound and the Philadelphia sound and all that. So they had timeless music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not tapped in enough, and that's on us, it's not on the younger generation. I'm not tapped in enough to know that their artist is creating timeless music.
Right.
You know, so in my mind, I go, that's not timeless. But
to them, that's like, yo, this is everything.
This is everything, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like the NBA and sports, right? Jordan made $3 million a year most of his career. You got guys that can't even put the ball in the rack. Yeah. Ben Simmons, and he getting $186 million, right? Yeah. Jordan could sit there and be like, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was making $3 million, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So when it doesn't matter, you just go ahead and move forward. You know what I mean? And find your niche in this new generation.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Right. All right, cool.
Shout out to the old and new generations, yo.
Yeah, definitely.
Because without that balance,
that balance back.
All right, cool. So we've said a lot of cool stuff tonight already. You know, you shared a lot of interesting things. So let me ask you this to wrap up. What is a takeaway that you would want people to remember or
artists,
just think about?
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be one thing, you know?
Well, no, it's just the simple fact that, you know, for me, I like to be transparent. So that way how old are you? 23? What do you say? 13? You're a young boy.
He's young.
He's young.
So that way when he runs into a wall, he doesn't give up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so growing up on social media and all that, all you see is our successes. You know what I mean? And the reality is that I know for me, I used to be a quitter. You know what I mean? I used to quit at the drop of a dime because everything was so natural to me that when it got tough, I didn't know how to deal with that shit. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so it wasn't until I went homeless that I decided I wanted to be a dog. Because now my back is against the wall. Too many people now hit that wall and they give up on themselves because nobody taught them about that. All they taught them, now this new Instagram entrepreneur shit, you on a yacht dancing with girls, showing off bags of money. Most of them dudes is con artists. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they got the bag in the wrong way. And it's not hate, that's the facts.
That's facts.
Right? And so what happens is when you get on your journey, you want to get to your bag. When you hit the wall, you have two options. You're going to back down or you're going to climb over that shit. Right. That's the two options. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But what happens when your mom or your dad or your cousin or your homie lends you the money to do it? You quitting on yourself and you quitting on them. Yeah. And they might have gave you some money and took it away from their own dream.
Right, just to because they believe.
Because they believed in you more than they believed in themselves.
Right.
And now you gave up on yourself. All right, so that's for me. Like I tell people straight up, I used to be a quitter, like period. You know what I'm saying? And then and it's really to the people that knew you from back in the day. It's hard to overcome that, and you can't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know how people be like, your family members don't support you, your family don't do this, your family don't do that. Listen, your family's not your customers.
Nah, they're not.
Your family is somebody else's customer.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you looking for your family. Why you not at my burger joint? Because they down at the burger joint they like.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the meanwhile, I was a stranger in your joint.
Right, because they like, yo,
and they like your burger.
That's how
and that's somebody else's family member. Your customers, your people that support you, is probably not going to be people who think they know you.
That's great.
You see what I'm saying?
Great point.
So yeah, used to be a quitter, wanted to be a dog. I wanted to eat. But I also wanted to be responsible, set an example for my kids. I got 4 daughters and 1 son. Right. You see what I'm saying? If you don't get your shit together, your daughter start messing with a knucklehead, and you ain't got nothing, what you gonna tell her? Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, she gonna be like, you talking this, but he got me a bag. You know what I'm saying? Right. So how do you overcome that? By setting the example about what's fly. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, I used to be a quitter, but now I'm a dog, and it is what it is. And I can confidently say it, because I've executed. You see what I'm saying? But let me rephrase that. I followed the plan that God put in front of me. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Reese Cups.
That's all it is.
Shout out to Reese Cups. No, but for sure, though, listen, thank you so much for just, sharing a little bit about yourself, for the inspiring words of empowerment. I know for a fact that people are going to go back and rewatch this video and be empowered and like inspired by at least one part in this video clip.
There's going to be something they're going to take away from this.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you so much for just, like you said, you living in your purpose just allows us to live in our purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like we connected for a reason. Even the Freedom Festival, like doing that was just a great experience. And even
homie that you pointed out and stuff, bro. Like I've known him from my old neighborhood, right? He's probably the youngest cat in here. Yeah. But I remember when he was like 6, 7, he would be out on the corner with some water bottles, literally trying to sell
that water bottle money.
And I will always be like, yo, he's got the hustle, he's got the, you know what I mean? He's got the drive, he has the. And I literally invited him. I was like, bro, you want to come out, see what it is we do? Blah blah blah. Help me out with this, and that. And look, he's here. He got to conversate with y'all. Everyone
he scared
here.
You.
It's never.
That was him out there.
No, he was one of them.
Right.
He was one of them.
He probably looking at me right now like, bitch. I was scared as shit. But no, straight up, they did the Freedom Fest and they rocked that joint. In fact, listen, no disrespect to none of the other artists. I'm not. But y'all was the only ones where the crowd was like, like
the little kids was like,
yeah, they put on the show like y'all had dancers, son, and it was like 10 of them.
And it's crazy because like people don't know, like people think, we just brought dancers, but those dancers came from DC and Baltimore.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
They came the whole way out here just to literally do our set.
And the guy's not even from America, right?
Nah, the one dude
that like,
Bax, the one who did the Spanuevelo, he's from Africa. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? The fact that we got to connect all those people from those different areas.
And let me say that really quick before we bounce. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm talking about. Even in this right here, creative people like y'all two, right, should be out front in these kind of environments, helping the cities push culture and creativity. Facts. They like to crown certain individuals who they don't feel threatened by. You see what I'm saying? And the reality is that they should be working with people like you and Ash, who clearly got creative shit with you. You know what I'm saying? And also care, right?
That's
and so that's who should be out in front. You know what I mean? And so even like when I do stuff, I pinpoint people that have a certain skill set, and I say, you take the run with that. You ain't gonna see me on the news. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Somebody else go run with that. You know what I mean? And the city, the different organizations, the larger ones, they all should, step up and say, listen, I see what you're doing. Boom. Right. They go that bread. If they don't, it doesn't matter because the people will support what you're doing anyway.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for just your honesty, your realness tonight.
You're welcome.
Give a round of applause, yo. All right, so where can people follow you?
I don't be understanding that shit. I'll be out like,
well, you do a lot of different things. People are gonna want to know how to get in contact or follow your story.
I'm like, so Facebook,
okay, Facebook.
Kalim Johnson at Facebook.
Kalim Johnson.
Facebook, and then
or y'all can hit me up or whatever. I'll give you his information. I'll contact you.
Everybody. I don't do that whole. You can reach me at my Twitter. I don't have all that.
Right.
Well, Kalim Johnson, Facebook, and just he's out here making his moves, and you know what I'm saying. Again, thank you so much for your inspiration tonight.
But stay tuned in because it is not over yet. We got one more thing coming for all of y'all.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
So, all right, y'all. So much exciting stuff happened tonight. We had scares, we had live interviews, we had music videos.
The hip hop koala. We got a couple other scary masked people in the crowd.
So much happened tonight. So first, we just want to say thank y'all so much for your support. We had a great time, and we're gonna close.